Now, Stanford has estimated that globally it would cost $4 trillion every year for at least 30 years to transition the world to net zero, or approximately $120 trillion. Now, I'm guessing that probably doesn't include the rebuilding costs that will go with it every 20 odd years. Now, Aidan, even in Australia, it's very difficult to find a consolidated cost for the renewable transition that includes rebates, subsidies, grants, court cases, you name it. Do we know how much this transition is actually costing us?
Not yet. We're working on it, and you're absolutely right. It's really complicated to actually put all the pieces back in. So one of the problems that we do have is the integrated system plan doesn't attempt to actually incorporate really significant parts of the energy system that we have. So, for example, they just don't include any of the cost of rooftop solar. They also don't include any of the cost of the batteries that they expect that users will buy. So we've estimated these costs of rooftop solar and batteries combined at today's prices to be something in the order of $300 billion. So this is larger than all the costs that they actually do include in the system, actually. So significant parts of the system, even all the existing coal generators, all the existing system, all the transmission is not included in the integrated system plan. So the main plan that we have, which has the most detailed modelling in it, just doesn't come even close to incorporating actually the full system cost. And there's been some really dishonest claims made in press releases that they do model the full system. It's just not true. They don't model the full system, and if you look at the right documents, there's absolutely crystal clear evidence that that's not the case. So without the full system modelled in one place, it's quite hard to get a full, accurate price. But as you say, there's also ways that the costs can be buried into difficult corners that are kind of hard to unpick. So, for example, the cost of trying to keep coal-powered generators running when they're being forced to ramp around intermittent renewables, which kind of surge and sway into the grid at unpredictable times, that makes it less profitable and less viable to run coal generators in the way they're designed to. However, we haven't got the reliable enough supply to be able to switch them off altogether. So it means that state governments, such as Victoria and now New South Wales, are entering into basically secret agreements to subsidise the coal generators to keep running in an ineffective manner. So that's another cost that we just don't have any insight to at the moment. The capacity investment scheme, another subsidy that's been massively expanded recently, and it's being rolled out at the moment, that doesn't have a capped public limited amount on it. So we don't know how much that would be. Over the course of the last 10 years or so, the renewable energy target, which it's replacing, has been well over $20 billion in terms of the subsidy level there. But the new system to replace that we would expect to be something of that order of magnitude or even larger. So we're talking about billions of dollars per year here. And there's no public figure that's been announced as to give a cap to that scheme. So that will come basically out of taxpayers' pockets, not energy users' pockets. But still, that's basically another way of disaggregating the system and making sure that all the costs can't be found in one place at one time. But we're working on putting it back together again.
Yeah, we're relying on you, Aidan, to actually give us a figure, because Bowen hasn't got a clue what his cheap energy transition is costing Australians. He will never show us a number on a screen and say this is what it's going to cost.